Hello there guys and welcome back to the FIFA 21 career mode with Leicester, and today we've got episode 2 of the career mode. In the first episode we managed to bring in Max Aarons for a fee of around about 6 million in that right back position. It'll be great to rotate between Aarons and Pereira for this first season. We also started off the season really well in our first game with getting a win and getting 3 points on the table. Today's episode though is going to be a key episode because we've got to make some important signings for this season coming up. We've got to strengthen the team, and I feel that the two main positions right now is finding a starting centre back for the team and also a rotational centre midfielder. So we've got quite a lot of money then in the transfer budget. We've got £86 million and just under 600k in the wage budget. We're not looking to spend it all, but we do need to spend it wisely and get some important players in today's episode. Coming up then in today's episode, we've got some important transfer business to do. Like I say, a starting centre-back is number 1 on our list right now, and also a rotational centre midfielder to help us to get through the season. Also, the first game in today's episode is going to be against Man City, and it's going to be a real test when we do face them. If you guys do enjoy today's episode, you want another episode out tomorrow, please go down below and smash the like button. If we can hit above 150 likes, then I'll make sure there is another episode tomorrow. And also guys, if you are new, you want to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button down below and also the little bell to be notified of when these videos go live onto YouTube. So let's get into some of your guys' comments then from the previous episode. And don't forget guys, when we get your comments featured in these videos, go down below, leave your comments, and like I said, I'll pick them out for the future episodes. But let's get into the first one then, which is from Lil Uz, saying train under to a right winger. And now obviously, as you can see on screen, if we're going to train him to a right winger, it's only going to take 2 weeks. Like I say, he already can play that position, but I'm looking to train him there and then fully convert him to the right wing position. So that's what I'm going to do, and it's only going to take 2 weeks, so let's get it done. Into the second comment then, which is going to come from YSW Ginger, saying try to convert Castagne to a left back. He still has some great potential and isn't bad at defending. And now Castagne was a player that I do have on the transfer list. Now if the offer does come in for him, I probably will accept it, but for the time being and while he's still at the club, we will convert him to a left back. And I actually checked some of his defending stats, and he isn't actually too bad. As you can see on the right hand side there, defending is a 75. Decent stand tackle, decent defensive awareness and interceptions, as well as slide tackle. So again, not a bad choice. Let's get him converted. Let's get into the third and final comment for today's episode, which comes from Miko YT, saying he sold Vardy and Pereira for 120 million and he bought a right back called Mukael, 20 years of age, and he can play right back, right wing back and centre back, but for striker by maybe Abraham or Max Gomez. So now I searched up the actual right back that he's on about, and he's not wrong when he can actually play centre back and right wing back. So I was looking at the player, you can see on screen now, he's 6'2", right-footed, medium work rates, and now just looking at some of his stats, his jumping is key, 89 to 99, his sprint speed is 81 to 91, and looks like an all-round great player. And the fact that he can play centre-back is key for us, and I think we're going to try and sign him today for our centre-back position. So after episode 1 then, I've decided now which positions we are going to sign for in today's episode. Like I said, I don't want to go ahead and sign 4, 5, 6 players or anything like that. I want to go ahead and make sort of realistic signings for this career mode, but still want to make signings that do make an impact to the squad, because like I say, we are on ultimate difficulty, competitive mode is on, so it's going to be a tough season in the Premier League. So the two signings I want to make for this first transfer window, we obviously already signed Max Aarons in the last episode, but again, he's more of a rotational player and possibly coming to the team the second season really. But for the first transfer window, like I say, centre midfield, we're looking for a rotational centre midfielder, because we go down to the bench, we've got Chowdhury, but then we got Prayet here, who we are looking to sell. He's 26 years of age. Just want to bring in a younger centre midfielder that can hopefully grow into the high 80s and fit into the first team. Now also the centre-back position, we got Soruncu there on the left-hand side, wanting to keep him in this first team. But Fofana, again, a player that Leicester did bring in real life just this summer. But again, 71 rated just isn't going to cut it for me in the starting 11 this season. So again, when we do sign a new starting centre-back in today's episode, Fofana will go down to the bench and sit there for a little while and rotate with the two centre-backs in the first team. Here is then the shortlist, and from the first episode, the guys that have left loads of comments, I do appreciate it. All the players that you've left down below, some of them might not be on the shortlist because I'm thinking maybe season 2 when we can go ahead and sign them players, but these are the players that we've got in the shortlist at the moment. Like I say, some of them are still there from the first episode. I've managed to remove a few who I definitely think we're not going to sign. But again, this guy here, Mukalele, not Mukalele, I'm thinking of the old Chelsea midfielder. Mukiele. I'm guessing that's maybe how you pronounce this guy's name. I do think we're going to go and try and sign this player because, again, got the sprint speed, he's got great defending stats, and he's 6'2" as well. And he would fit perfectly, and he's the perfect defender that I've been looking for to be the starting 11 centre-back for this team. Now, going down below, you can see we've got we've got 2 new centre midfielders. I managed to remove 2. And now this player here, 83 rated, Zakaria, from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, I was going to sign him, but my worry is that if I sign him, he pretty much needs to be a starting midfielder. He can play centre-back as well, but I would like to play him as a midfielder as that's his natural position. And at the moment, the midfield we've got, I don't feel like upsetting anyone and putting him straight into the first team. So that moved me down to these 2 players here. We've got Camavinga and then this other player from the French league. Now, Camavinga, I didn't want to buy. It sort of put me off a little bit just because we bought him in the Real Madrid save. I didn't want to buy him again in this save. But then again, in the Real Madrid save, he didn't really get much game time. You know, being Real Madrid and everything, he didn't really get as much game time as I wanted him to. Whereas I feel like in this Leicester save, he could be a good purchase. And he could sort of remind me of that Kante signing that they bought. Obviously, he's a little bit more high profile than Kante was when they bought him. But again, I feel like he could fit in the team really well. Now, we move down to the bottom end of the shortlist. We've got 4 other players here. Rashika, again, a player I was thinking of signing for the right wing. Mahrez, should we bring him back from Manchester City and play him on the right wing? If we was, I wouldn't bring him in this transfer window anyway. It'd probably be January if he was going to. And then Isaac, again, a little bit 50-50 on buying him at the moment. And we've got this other player here, which someone left in the comments, Jonathan David from Lille, can play striker, centre forward and cam, and he looks really good, and I think he can grow up to an 88 overall, so I can keep my eye on him as well. But I think for today's episode, Camavinga and also Mukiele from Leipzig, we're going to try and sign both of them, and that should set us up for this new season. So we're into the negotiations here for Mukiele, and you can see here, I know he's valued at around about 40 to 50 million, so I'm going to go in and offer 44.5 million straight away off the bat. Like I say, because I haven't done the scout report, obviously, because I've literally just added him to the shortlist, and I can't really waste any time between now and the end of the window, and I want him in for the Man City game. I'm going to go ahead and offer that amount, see what they say, and I want him more for him straight away. 55.2 million. Again, this is sort of going to be our star signing, so I'm going to go ahead and try and counter that and propose a new fee. And we don't need to scrimp and scrape for this signing, but again, we don't want to go out and spend too much. So let's offer 51.5. Let's have a see what they say to that offer. And just hopefully we can get him just a little bit cheaper than what they're asking. And okay, they're happy with that. And let's go into the contract now and see if we can get him to agree on a contract for us. So we're into the contract here. We've offered him a crucial squad role because, like I say, he's going to be playing in that first team on the right side of the centre-back position. 4-year contract, no release clause, and now they're offering 40,000 wage, a 420,000 signing on bonus, and an appearance bonus as well. We're just going to go ahead and remove that bonus, and let's just edit the wage up just a little bit to, let's say 45, just because we removed the bonus. Let's submit that offer, and hopefully we can get him in. I just feel like he's going to be really well. He's going to do really well in that centre-back position for us. And like I said, his sprint speed is so crucial, and he's got heading stats between 89 and 99. So let's see, and they are going to accept that on a 45,000 weekly wage, and there we go, our star signing has been made. So here he is then in the squad, and you can see he fits perfectly in there at centre back. And let's take a look at some of these stats here. So he's right footed, like I say, we already knew that. Medium work rate 22, 6'2", and from the France nationality. And let's take a look at some of these stats. Like I say, sprint speed 87 sprint speed on a centre-back who is 6'2". That is mental. I feel like this guy's going to be so good. 90 jumping there and some other great stats all around. 2 traits as well. And this guy is going to be the perfect signing for us at centre-back. So now we've made that signing then, let's get into some youth academy stuff. Because as you can see on this right-hand side, one of the objectives is to sign one young player. And also we want to make sure we get some youth academy prospects in to help us in the future in this career mode. So obviously we start off with a scout, 5-star experience, 4-star judgment, and let's set this scouting network up. So I'm going to go straight ahead and start in England for 9 months, and in the type, I think we're going to go with, you know what, we're going to go with technically gifted and see what we get in return with this scout. But without further ado then, let's get into our first game of the episode against Manchester City away from home. Like I say, this is going to be our first real test in the Premier League on Ultimate Difficulty. Like I say, no changes to the starting 11 apart from the new centre-back we've signed. He's gone straight into the team. and hopefully help us in this first game against City. Because like I say, Sterling, Aguero and Mahrez up front, we're going to need some fast movement today to get around them and to stop them from attacking. But let's get into this game and hope that we get the 3 points. There we go, under, looking to get maybe something on the attack here, looking for Vardy, but maybe down this right-hand side. Pereira is making a run. Let's get the cross inside the box towards the back post, and we just couldn't get there on the header, but we're doing ourselves a corner here. 6 minutes in against City, and already I'm not a fan of the stadium, just with the shading itself. The cross in from Maddison, but nothing to come from it. But yeah, like I said, the shading, obviously with the light there, and the dark area with the dark and blue kit, it just isn't great at the moment. Okay, Man City on the attack here. The cross in from Mahrez, too early. And I thought it was too early, but got the header on it in the end. De Bruyne, and some header, I got to save, by the way. And Schmeichel there to make the save, and he got the header on it. I couldn't believe it. And they get themselves a corner now. 18 minutes into the game. Let's just defend this properly. And let's not concede early on. And the header from Mahrez. And wow, I thought that was going over the goalkeeper. Luckily for us, it didn't. Maybe a chance for Pereira once again on this right-hand side. Looking for maybe a sort of like a lower cross inside to Vardy. But unfortunately, Edison was there first. And maybe a couple more of them crosses might just work in this game. Okay, Man City are through. Awful defended here. Gundogan. And looking to get the pass off, and he does. But Sonuncu gets there in time. Maddison can't release the pass. I'm just hoping right now we don't concede and we can get into half-time. Obviously, 1-0 up would be great. But I do not want to go into half-time at 1-0 down. Maybe get the pass around, and Vardy in towards Maddison. He's going to go for the shots, and I think we should have gone for the finesse shot first time there, but here we go. De Bruyne now, I thought he was going to play it back to Sterling, and Mahrez on the run, and we just couldn't get there. No way, Mahrez, and he makes it 1-0. And he makes it 1-0 just before, and just there, we couldn't catch up. I thought we got the ball, and we didn't, and then Mahrez on his left foot smashes it into the back of the net. And makes it 1-0. Okay, Man City on the attack once again now in the second half. Mahrez on this ball again, causing us quite a few problems in this game. Just struggling to get the ball off him at the moment. De Bruyne now. The pass there, and down to Mahrez, who worked his way across the box and managed to get the shot away. And I think we are going to have to actually make some changes soon in this game. The cross coming in there from Mahrez, and just get this one cleared. Maybe back to Mahrez once again. And De Bruyne now, and there we go, Telemans cuts that one out. Man City in a dangerous area once again. Gundogan with the ball now. We are going to make a few changes, and I do need them to happen kind of soonish, I'm going to be honest. Maddison getting a foot in, but not being able to recover the ball. De Bruyne now, and the pass inside, and Ferran Torres, the substitute that come on for Mahrez, who scored the first goal, has now only gone and scored the second goal in this game, and I always knew, you know, it's going to be tough against Man City, especially away from home as well, in our second game with the team. And like I say, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I wanted us to do a lot better and at least score a goal in this game, but unfortunately we couldn't. And Torres there getting his first goal for this season. Trying to not let us concede a third goal here in this game. A 2-0 defeat is obviously what it's going to be now. The ref blows the full-time whistle, but a 3-0 defeat obviously would have been worse. But unfortunately, we walk away from this game with 0 points. Pep Guardiola getting the better of us today. But like I say, we always knew it was going to be a tough game away from home at Man City. And we know there's a lot of work to do in this season. So as you can see then, Torres is in the news for securing the win there for Manchester City. And like I say, I don't feel too hard done by. We are in ultimate difficulty and we are facing Manchester City. We're one of the best teams in the game, but there's still a bit of work to do to the team before we can sort of compete and win games against Man City, especially away from home. And one last addition then I want to make to the team is, like I say, a rotational midfielder. Camavinga, again, I did sign him in my previous save with Real Madrid, but we didn't get as much game time as I would like him to. And I want to see him reach them high 80s that I know he can reach, and possibly even a 90. But I feel like he'll do well in the team. Like I say, he's still got a sort of French connection with Kante, although when Kante signed, he was in a League 2 team, and Camavinga does play for a League 1 team. So there's a little bit of a difference, but I want him to be sort of that Kante sort of esque sort of player that can play in that CDM centre mid role and break up play and get us moving once again. So he's valued at 26 million, and the scout reckons between 28.2 and 36.6. So we're into the transfer talks here then. So we offered £29 million up front. They're wanting a sell-on clause of 19%. Now, obviously, you can imagine they're going to want a sell-on clause for a 17-year-old that's rated at 78 overall. So let's just knock that down just a little bit to 10%. And then let's try and up that to maybe 30. Actually, no, we'll up it to 29.5. Let's see what they have to say about that. Again, I don't mind the selling clause because the chances of us selling him are very unlikely. But a transfer sum, I would like to try and maybe bring that down a little bit, even though I've just added 500k to it. But let's have a see what they say to that. And they're happy with that. The 10% sell-on fee and a fee of 29.5 million. We're into the contract talks here then with Camavinga. We're given an important squad role, a 5-year contract length, which was crucial, and no release clause so far. His current wage is 5,400. I'm offering him a wage of 25. Alright, so we'll knock that down to 20,000, and then a signing on bonus of, let's say, 100,000. Let's have a see what he has to say about that offer. Again, the wage, I feel like is fine. 20,000, he is getting like basically a 15,000 increase down his weekly wage. And then a signing on bonus of 100k. Let's have a see what him and his agent have to say. And they are going to say that's a reasonable offer. They are going to accept that. That's going to be our final sign-in for the first season here at Leicester. Let's add then Camavinga to the bench where he will feature in this first season. And like I say, I just wanted him there because I know he can grow. He's 17 years of age, got plenty of time to grow in that overall. And he's already a 78. And like I say, with this, it doesn't mean that Chowdhury is going to get any less game time. Because again, I want to play him as well. He's only 22 years of age, so he can grow in his overall as well. And with having 3 midfielders, it's going to be key, you know, possibly subbing 2 on at some games, because I can imagine they're going to get tired. There's going to be plenty of games this season for both of them to get plenty of games. But this is how the final squad is going to look moving on in this season. Like I say, we got 2 rotational players in Max Aarons and Camavinga, and then we got 1 starting 11 player in Mukiele. And like I say, he does look really good. Unfortunate debut against Man City to get the loss. But like I say, you know, they have such a great team. It's going to be tough, that game, either way. But I hope you guys like the team. If there is any other additions you'd like me to make, let me know down below in the comment section. We've also got January. And probably now, if I was looking to improve the team, it's probably a backup striker. Iheanacho, again, isn't a bad player. But I'd like to bridge the gap between the 74 rating Iheanacho is and the 85 rating that Vardy is. Let's get into the second game of the episode then. We're facing Aston Villa at home this time. So we're definitely looking for 3 points in this game. We should be getting 3 points in this game. One thing I want to quickly point out, I remember someone left a comment asking if Leicester's third kit was in. Unfortunately, at the moment, it isn't actually in the game. If we go to change kit, you can see the home and away kit, but unfortunately, I think it's maroon, isn't it? Like a maroon sort of brown, purpley kit isn't in the game. I can't actually use it, unfortunately. You've only got the blue and white kit there. So obviously, we're going to go with that and keep Aston Villa as that. But unfortunately, it isn't in the game, so I can't use it. But let's get into this game anyway. Against Aston Villa, we should be getting all 3 points in this one. Aston Villa on the break now early on, and they're going to be able to maybe get the shots away. Ricardo Pereira there does great to save us. And now Ndidi, try and get this forward. Telemans, and just waiting for someone to really make a run. Maybe down this left-hand side now with Harvey Barnes. Could maybe look for the pass inside, and we can. Maddison, finesse shot, and I should have turned and shot a lot quicker. Harvey Barnes looking to try and get it to Jamie Vardy, and he has. Jamie Vardy, can he make it 1-0? And what a shot that is from Jamie Vardy. 20 minutes into the game, we take the lead against Aston Villa, and I'm just so glad we scored, you know, guys, because the first game only scoring 1 goal, and it was sort of like a fluke cross, wasn't it? And then the second game, the first game in today's episode, obviously didn't score against Man City. And even here, I was a little bit worried that the through ball wouldn't come off, and it did. And Jamie Vardy was there. He's got the pace, of course, and such a powerful shot as well. And that's his first goal of the season. Okay, Barkley's played a great through ball here for Aston Villa, and Schmeichel is beaten from Watkins. And Aston Villa answers straight back. 24 minutes in, and it's 1-1. Such celebrations ended so soon. And I just can't believe that. Great through ball from Ross Barkley, I've got to say. And it put Watkins in a great position. Ran straight on it. Look at it here. Great through ball. Straight past Sonuncu. And he gets to the end of it. First touch. Fires it into the back of the net. Sonuncu there jumping over Schmeichel. And he levels it up in this game now. 1-1. And we're back where we began. Telemans gets the pass down to Maddison. He can maybe get it back there. And he can. Telemans, and to get it to Vardy, and never mind, Maddison with the shots. And okay, it's kept in. I did not expect that to be kept in, but that was a great chance there to take the lead once again. And Ndidi here now. Let's see if we can get going again. And Jamie Vardy, and the pass down wide. I don't see a problem with that. And Telemans now, maybe just a little chip inside. Too close to the goalkeeper there. He's going to be able to punch that one away. Harvey Barnes looking to get it down to Jamie Vardy. He's out wide once again, not really where we want him. and looking for someone maybe to pass to here. I want to try and get Vardy back to the centre. And we might be able to do just that. And he was going to be offside with that pass, I do believe. But one thing I have changed for this second half is I've gone for the 4-3-3 attack and put Maddison at cam just to try and help us get this second goal. And here we go. Vardy down now for Harvey Barnes. You're going to try and cut it inside, get it to Vardy. Try and go for the shots. And it just wasn't a great angle there. There we go, Vardy, one-on-one. Back through for Vardy. And Vardy, come on, get it in the back of the net. And he does. There we go, 70 minutes in. And we make it 2-1 in this game. And Jamie Vardy just, oh my God, I'm so glad we've got him up front, guys. I've got to say, because if it wasn't for him, maybe that second goal that wouldn't have gone in. It was such a tough one to score. Little 1-2. And there we go, he's through. And he fires that one in into the bottom left-hand corner. Tough for the goalkeeper to save. And he makes it 2 now in this game and 2 goals for him this season. Okay, not again, Aston Villa. Please do not score, please. I'm just holding on now to this 2-1 scoreline, and we just cannot seem to get the ball off them whatsoever. And okay, they're passing it quite far back here. I've made a few changes, but obviously haven't come off just yet. And there we go, Singizunda does win that one back. And we can just keep this ball for a little while now. Obviously, I am wanting the changes to be made. Over the top there for Harvey Barnes. What a ball that is. And here we go, Harvey Barnes, cut that inside. Just keep a hold of it, please. And he does great there. And Telemans now, maybe through the middle. And for Maddison, for Vardy, back to Maddison, who does be able to keep that in the middle there. And just couldn't pull that final pass off. And there we have it then, guys. Full time in this game at Leicester 2, Aston Villa 1. And what a game that was. We just held on to that win at the end. Aston Villa played really well today, I've got to say. And the fact that he levelled it up literally 4 minutes after our first goal really put me in doubt that we'd come away with the 3 points. But Vardy there, securing the win for us today. 3 attempts and 2 goals. So we're into the post-match interview here then, and they're asking why didn't Camavinga make his debut today? Now, he was going to be one of the players that he was going to substitute on. And obviously Camavinga, I didn't really want him to make his debut today just because I wanted him to get up to speed with match sharpness and everything. So I'm just going to go with, I want him to settle in first. And once he builds that sharpness up and we come up to a game where I feel like he could play, then he will play. So we've just had an email then about Sengizunda and his position change to the right wing. And I do think he's ready now to make the change. So we're going to go ahead and change his position to that right winger. Like I say, he could already play there. There was no need to sort of do it. But again, it just looks a bit nicer now knowing that his primary position is going to be right wing. So now looking at a development plan for him, I am looking to upgrade that sprint speed. I've got to say 79 could be a little bit faster. So inverted winger is going to do that. Again, acceleration is already good. So it's between inverted winger and wide winger. So I'm guessing wide winger will look up his crossing, will it not? And okay, it won't. Will inverted winger up his crossing? So it won't, but his crossing is 83, so it's not awful. Inverted winger will up his finishing though, however. And yeah, wide winger will up his crossing, my mistake. I think what we'll go with for now is inverted winger. Try and up that finishing and attacking position just a little bit more. And that's going to take 23 weeks. And also that will increase his weak foot as well. So we're just looking at Camavinga here then. And a development plan for him. Now in the Real Madrid save, I put him as a CDM. And then we put the playmaker development plan on him. But I think for this career mode, I'm going to put him as a ball-winning midfielder and see how he does there. Because he's already got decent stats as a ball-winning midfielder. He's already got a high defensive work rate. So I think we'll do that for now. It's going to take 18 weeks. And then I think maybe after that, we'll try and transfer him into a CDM and see how he does there. So for our other signing then in today's episode, sort of our star signing really. Because obviously I'd say he's our star signing because he's the highest rated. But again, Camavinga is a really good signing as well. So I call them both great signings and both French as well, by the way. So we're going to change him to the centre-back position, even though he could already play there. And again, it's going to take 2 weeks. But it just would be nice to change his primary position to that centre-back. And then I think then we'll go to growth. And obviously this will be different then because he'll be a centre-back. So we'll pick a different growth setting then for him to develop into. So this is how the Premier League table then is going to look at the end of today's episode. Again, so early on in the season at the moment, but we are currently 11th place with 2 wins and 1 loss. But like I said, I've had to play Man City already away from home as well. So we obviously lost that game, unfortunately. But we did great and bounced back against Aston Villa and got the 2-1 win. So again, 6 points at the moment, and the current league leaders are Manchester United with obviously 9 points. Chelsea in second, Everton in third place. So just before we end today's episode then, one thing I want to talk about is possibly changing the formation. Now, we are using the 4-3-3 holding. This is what got given to me when we started this Leicester career mode. But I'm thinking maybe, well, someone said the 4-1-4-1 because that's what Leicester use in real life. Now, I don't mind the idea of using that, but also, or is it the 4-4-1-1 they use? That looks more like what they use because obviously they can for Maddison. But I do like the idea of using the 4-3-3 attack. That's what we used in the second half against Aston Villa. And it does fit Maddison a lot more. And it does give a lot more greater support to Jamie Vardy up front. Unfortunately, Ndidi does sort of get that yellow icon there because he's not a natural centre midfielder. But we can always change him to that. And I think maybe we'll roll with the 4-3-3 in future. But anyway, my player of the episode for today's episode has to go to Jamie Vardy. He rescued us in that game against Aston Villa. Got us the 2 goals and got us the crucial 3 points that we needed. So that's going to be it then, guys, for today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And like I said, we made 2 great signings in today's episode. That should cap off now our summer transfer window. 3 signings, 2 of them being rotational, just for the future. And like I say, can grow into the first team. And then 1 first team player. So I hope I haven't made it unrealistic for any of you guys watching. Like I say, Camavinga, you could sort of say is unrealistic just because of how high profile he is of a youngster. But then again, like I say, Leicester City now growing in real life and starting to establish themselves. So I would hope that maybe they make some more high profile youngster signings. And Camavinga could be that signing for them. And like I say, I'm hoping that he sort of replicates that sort of Kante player that Leicester, I wouldn't say they miss nowadays, because again, Ndidi is a great player. But it won't be too bad having a younger Kante in the team. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. And if you have, leave a like down below on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. And I'll see you guys for the next episode.